And we're back with another episode of the Pals Podcast. I am your co-host, Danny Galarno. And I'm Ricky Liorni.
I banged that perfectly on.
Yeah, whatever.
I nailed that.
But we had Ollie on the podcast.
First time, 5-time guest. That's huge. 5 times.
Insane. Not only has he been an actual guest on the podcast, 4 times? He also co-hosted.
This was, 5th time on, including the co-host.
Yeah,
that's wild.
It's insane. And he's just always doing something new.
And that's why we love him. And he's honestly like a true pal. I've known Ollie for 15 years now. Danielle's known him for at least 5. He's like an all-around great dude, like a legend in the hospitality space in Toronto. He's always trying to like do new and exciting things, and especially with Greenwood Stakes, he's like really taking it to the next level, which you got to fucking appreciate when people are doing really cool and unique things in the city of Toronto.
You couldn't have said it better. And I'm honestly just so excited. You're going to see the progression during this episode because who knows, maybe these guys will be buying a horse soon.
It's not out of the question. We might be buying a fucking horse soon. So, Ollie, thank you for being a pal. Thank you for being a beauty. Thank you for always putting on and always hooking up the pals whenever we need it. And I can't wait to see you at Greenwood Stakes.
Thanks for hosting amazing events in Toronto.
Yeah, you're a beauty, Ollie. We love you. First 5-time guest. We're going to get you a present one day for a 5-time guest. We'll get you something. And Danny, what do we say?
Let's fucking go.
Ollie, first time 5-episode
I feel
guest.
like you're screaming now just because Ollie's here.
Yes.
We should. This is the
5 times. 5 times. Hold on. Hold on. High five. 5-time guest. Thank you.
Ollie, this is crazy that you've been on 5 times.
Yeah, it's exciting. I appreciate the love that you guys have given me over the years, and when it's event season, then.
And Ollie, you're good too because you will always just be like, "Yo, I'm doing this. I want to come on." We're like, "Fuck yeah, Ollie."
I'm ready.
I love it. And so the first time you came on, we had the golf thing. What was it called again?
Green on Glendon. Yeah.
That was wild. COVID times.
Thought I was going to be living back in the hometown and just like doing golf for the rest of my life, which would be pretty sweet. But
so that was was that the first or the second?
First, because that was COVID, me, you, and George, FaceTime.
Second one was maybe when Parlor was happening.
Parlor comeback in 2 studios ago. Yeah, and it was Parlor talking about all things that and day parties and Sundays.
Yeah. Then 3 would have been Greenwood.
3 was Greenwood. Yep.
4 was Greenwood Rose.
Well, like actually the Deer Lady one was like that was
that Deer Lady.
Yeah, it was that Deer Lady
too.
Also,
which was kind of all over the place.
Can we just shout out Ollie for letting us record in Deer Lady for like a year?
Yeah.
That was sick.
It was so fun.
And how you would run up tabs upstairs and you're like, "Hey, can we?" I was like, I would give you a little bit, but then like the one time you're like, I spent so much money.
No, that one episode we did there with Banks and Ranks, we were taking shots after shots.
Like I think all you'd always be like, yeah, take a couple drinks each or something,
yeah,
like $50 or like $80 or whatever. I think that one episode we racked up like 600, like on a fucking Tuesday afternoon at 5 p.m.
Thank you.
It was fun
Support.
though.
We show
yeah, you do.
All he got is rent.
Yeah. That paid for the staff.
Yeah, Dear Lady was a good one. Then we did. You were at the last studio we did, and that was the Rose.
That was my first one with Ollie.
Yeah,
we did Rose Disco.
Yeah. That was when you were on and Rose Disco.
And now
we're back, catching up.
Fuck man, I always love having you on because you're a great storyteller. You're one of my favorite storytellers.
Well, we got stories for days.
We do. Well, we also go way back, right? Danielle doesn't know that. Well, do you know that? That me and Ollie go back like 15 years now.
Yeah.
Back to like
London.
Actually, more than 15 years.
Yeah.
08, 09.
Well, it's kind of crazy to think now how long it's been, but then like just like going back to like event side stuff, we watch like the Vici documentary that just came on Netflix, which is a little bit misconstrued. But aside from that, I'm like, oh my God, we did Block Party together. And then you were the first person to bring Avicii, And then you were the first person to bring Avicii at Mansion, and then we booked him right after.
At London Music Hall, yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
crazy.
Dimitri listens to the pod all the time.
Hi, Dimitri. Miss
What's
you.
going on? Miss you, yeah. You know what's crazy? When he picked up his newborn, he had
No,
the
when he
hat
was
on.
leaving the hospital.
When he was leaving the hospital.
He
a
like
Pals
wore a
hat
Pals
on?
hat on. It was
That's
amazing.
sick. Nice.
Yeah.
It was epic. Oh, let me ask you this: when you were, let's say, when back in London days, back in 08, 09, do you think let me rephrase that. That was a fucking terrible.
Spit it out.
Yeah, honestly, I'm having a tough time here. Do you think you'd be where you are now?
No, there was a lot of doubt of like when you start coming up inside of like a promotional event, like atmosphere and like me throwing events at like Jack's, all those things like within London, and you're like, what is my next career path? Tried to do the corporate thing. I actually interviewed for like Red Bull, being like one of their like reps within Southwestern Ontario, and I made it to the last interview. And then what ended up happening is that it was between me or this girl from Uber. And it's like, obviously resume plays, but then inside of this game is like who you know, because like know everybody at venues, did events all over Ontario and like Canada. So it's just like, that was like, okay, I got to like keep grinding. And then now I'm all the way here, which is like, it's a crazy path. And I always look back at it and being like, oh my God, like I'm in this. But like it's all paid out, so it's like great.
Yeah, but there's also like the highs of lows of like entrepreneurship, because like think about during COVID. Like I don't, maybe you weren't, but like I feel like those were tough times for you because the whole hospitality industry got fucking shit on.
Absolutely, and it, like, but that's what taught me I could do anything, anywhere. Put me in any city in the world, and I can like create a business. Because like when your world just gets taken out from under you, have no idea, and then like building a new business, not knowing what's next, trying it, excelling with it, and then like, like we hit the head, like we excelled pretty well with it, with hitting it with golf, because that's all you could do. And then like building that business was like pretty crazy. But it was like labor intensive. Like I was like picking up golf balls with a screwdriver in a field, and I'm like looking around, I'm like, oh man, this is it.
What the fuck
eh?
am I doing?
Yeah, I'm like, this is it, eh? I'm like, entrepreneurship, but that's like the highs and lows. And like, there'll be really, really bad days for me where you're like, why isn't this making sense? But like, one thing is like, you can't control time or like other things within life. So it's just like, you kind of just got to ride those waves, which is scary. But
Do you think a lot of the lessons you've learned in the different aspects of your life have translated to the others? Like the lessons you learned growing up doing nightclub promotions and event marketing and that stuff, did it translate into what you're doing now, and even with the golf and like these major scale events?
yeah, like everything kind of like tests you all the way to like where I am today, where it's just like you live and you learn. You got to take risks. We were talking about risk earlier, and like you got to jump in with 2 feet. If you don't do that, then you'll never know. And like the more you fail, the better you become. And like a lot of failures, like last year was a really tough year with like Rose Disco canceling and some other things that go on with life. And you're like, oh my God, like why did this happen? You can like hone in on it and like be very disappointed, but then you're like, you learn from those mistakes, and then it only builds you stronger to like build and grow as a better individual, I guess you could say.
I was so happy to see Rose Disco pop back up on my feed.
Today, pre-sale went on. I'm currently not with the project anymore, but I'm still in full support. But I'm very happy that my business partners are like still seeing it through, and I know that it will be very successful. And like, to be honest, it's such a unique event. Where it was like I was so excited last year, and I know everyone was, and I know like, well, everyone was pretty excited, and then obviously things that you can't control is weather and Mother Nature. She's a nasty one. And sometimes, again, like you just gotta take it on the chin and just grow from it. So
there's some things that are in your control, and there's other things that aren't. And there's nothing you can do about it. And the quicker you learn to focus on the things you can control and let go of the things you can't, the happier you become, I find.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's true.
Sorry, continue.
No, my other thing I was gonna say, you were talking about failing.
Yeah.
When I did a career day speech at a little like grade 8 school in Brampton a couple
I
weeks
saw
ago,
that.
my whole presentation was on failing forward, because the idea of failing is, it's so misleading and so wrong. Like people think, oh, I failed, I suck, I'm so bad. It's like, whoa, no.
Right.
Every time you fail, there's a lesson learned, and you get up and you get stronger and you get better. Everybody will tell you that they learn more from their losses than they learn from their wins. Yeah, winning's great. It's the best feeling in the world.
Exactly.
But learning a good lesson from a loss and being able to use that in a practice moving forward, like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, shit like that gets my dick hard, honestly.
Exactly. And that was the thing, right? Like, learned a lot from last year where it's like I've batted pretty much 100 in, like, most of my, like, I'm not, like, it's not being cocky. It's just, like, when a lot of things are in control. But, like, last year, it's like you put that risk out and, like, you don't know you're producing an event outdoors. And, like, the last thing you're thinking about is that you're always thinking about weather, like, 4 months out when you launch the tickets. And then it's just like it moves into the next realm of like, okay, ticket sales are going well. You're not thinking about it's like, how's the execution of the event going? Like, how is the production going? And then you're thinking of all those little things. And then each time, because you can't see the weather until 14 days out.
Yeah. And even then, is it really reliable?
Right. And then you never know,
hard...
right? Because it could be hit or miss. And then when you get into that, like,
3 day.
The 20-day mark, you start really honing in on it. And then you start to see it. And then once that 14-day on Weather Channel, let me tell you, I subscribed and paid for every weather app.
AccuWeather is the best one.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like totally convinced it is. I will like stand by that.
The most Fugazi one is the Apple.
Yeah.
Apple makes no sense. Like
everyone
at like Parlor, my parents, like everyone's like looking, they're like, oh, okay. So perfect example is Sunday is like long weekend party Parlor. Things are going like there's a bunch going on in the city. Electric Island Saloon is doing their like opening party, and then like my business partner Sean, he's just like, oh, like weather looks really like crappy. It's like raining all day, and I look at like Weather Network and AccuWeather. And it was like 1% chance of rain, 15 degrees, and like cloudy with sun. And I go, bro, what are you talking about? So anyway, again, you learn a lot from those things. You got to kind of like adjust with it. And then with us last year, we had to make the executive call and the right call to canceling it way before, just because of a loss that could have happened. And just like, I guess like, no good PR of like imagine, which a lot of events happened last year because the weather was so crappy, is that it's like you open the doors, okay, come in, then it's like emergency shut off, then you have to leave, so then you have to think about going to the Bentway and all that. And we had all that planned, but it's a scary process because it's just like, imagine that happens and you have to like ship them somewhere else.
Yeah, it's tough.
Especially with a new event, I think, coming in, like you guys, it was like the first time in Toronto you guys hosting this event. Whereas if you look at Ultra Miami, this has been happening now for like the past couple of years. I find like one day
we were down there. We were down there with Frank, and
yeah.
Frank only got a 30-minute set, but they had to shut off the Friday because of the severe weather storm.
And again, that's Ultra, one of the biggest music festivals in the world.
Right. And that was like the other thing of just like making sure that we handled it right. And to be honest, there's been those like people that throw events and then like keep ticket sales. We took it on the chin and we didn't be like, oh, we'll see you next year, and we hold it, like, which would have helped a lot with like whatever. But we were like, no, we want to refund it because everyone on the project, in which like my business partner, amazing too, we just came to a collective, is like we have to be those good like promoters and like event producers that like we refunded completely 100% of the profits. Yeah. So
what's the biggest lesson you learned from that?
You can't control weather.
That's fair.
No, the biggest lesson I learned was that there's going to be downs in your life, and especially inside of this business. And with that being said, is that you have to adapt in those situations, and that like for those really far downs, there'll be like really good highs. But at the worst part of it all is that like I was an absolute wreck. Like I wasn't myself, but then it like builds it better for like the things that we did for the event, for it to grow into the next year. And the cool thing about it is that the community that we built just for like leading up to the event respected it, because people respect safety. People respect like what we do with the refunds. But like for me, I was just like, all right, like, you know what? Life isn't perfect, and you just got to roll with the punches, that's life, baby.
Like now looking back, like Kygo, I think was the best example because we were there.
Oh yeah,
walking into Kygo and them canceling, I did not care about safety. First of all, love Kygo, so like that was
'Cause
not
you're in
even
the
that.
moment,
It
right?
was in the moment, but just the hecticness of everyone getting in, letting people in, stopping, letting people in, stopping. It ruined the whole experience and the
It was
whole
a terrible
vibe.
evening.
Yeah.
And
I
it's like,
had a great night after.
no, I'll be honest. For
You
me,
had
like,
the
that was
worst
a fucking
time.
like again, you're out there in the rain, you're soaked. We went to a bar after. Like I'm fucking every time I step, there's like a puddle in my shoe. I'm like cold, but I'm not cold because it's a hot summer day, but it's raining, so I'm fucking freezing.
And like it's like
And
you guys as
got
the kids
shit on too. Like that day, I remember it wasn't raining at all in the morning. I'm like, why
Like
they
the
fucking cancel? And then like 3:00 rolled around. It was like fucking Voldemort came out of the sky and fucking shit on people.
King's Plate, that was the exact same thing at Woodbine. They had lightning strikes in the parking lot where people were walking in and out, and they had flash flooding going on. So like if that moved just like 1 kilometer south, that's right over Fort York. But we got the upstairs, and I remember I went to the gym in the morning. I'm walking around and I'm looking at the sky and I'm missing. I'm like, did we make the
fucked
right
up.
call?
Did we fuck up?
We did. And then like I heard thunder. I'm like, okay, we did okay. My like on and off was just so wild, and I respect my girlfriend, my family, and like my business partners that like talked me off a ledge because it was the most emotional day I had ever had. And the worst part about it was like, I love Dax, my business partner. Shout out Dax. It was his birthday. So he was the only partner that flew in, and we had our thing. And literally on that Wednesday, it's like we canceled it on like the Tuesday. He flew in on the Wednesday. We had his birthday dinner blackout because we were like so down on everything. And the lead up to Saturday was like, say if it's going to be sunny, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? But you guys brought a perfect example. It was Kygo. I totally forgot about that. But you guys as the consumers being there, like you're so pumped, you're so excited. But on the back end, what everyone doing,
Hold on, we good? Oh, we're good on the camera. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
main camera's good. We're good.
main camera's good. So the biggest thing is like on the back end of event producers and like the production team, how they're freaking out nonstop. So it's like, think what Kygo's team was going through, which I know, Live Nation, like crazy stuff where a lot of consumers don't ever like put that into perspective. And we have to look out for safety first always. So.
Of course. And the shitty part is like, I remember looking at like, so Kygo issued that big apology on like Instagram. And then people are like attacking Kygo.
I know.
Like, you think this guy doesn't want to perform? Like you think he's just in it to get money?
Yeah.
Kidding. This is what he loves doing. And you're going to shit on him because of a fucking, it's not even thundering that bad. Yeah, but what if a fucking thunderbolt hit someone and killed someone? Who's it on?
It's on the event
That
producers. It's on
That
the
whole
team. And like,
And ultimately,
and you know
Kygo
what?
eats it.
In this new day and age, everyone's going to be a hater. Like we had haters, like, you know, we had some like people that weren't really impressed with the event or like, they're kind of like a little jealous or something like that. And like
People just
I
wanna shit
saw
on
some of the like, oh my God, or like they're just money hungry and doing all that. But like our biggest like saving grace of just like what we knew what we were going to do, because I called Mark Russell. I called all the top event producers in the city. I was like, what do I do? Is this the right call? And they're like, if you want to save the integrity of the event and being like a rock star, you give a full refund, you do that stuff. And the thing is that like people thought that we were going to go the opposite way, but there's no way.
You did the right thing. And it's obviously, it sucks in the moment. And like taking it on the chin like that is fucking, I can't imagine how much that hurts.
Yeah.
But at the same point, like you're not in this to make a quick buck.
No.
You know what I mean? You're not, what's that guy from Fire Festival?
Billy something.
That got
Yeah.
canceled. The second one got canceled.
It got
Did you guys see?
postponed.
They had
No, there's a
they
new-
had no talent actually booked except for one of the football players to do an experience. That was the only person that was
Where was it going to
confirmed.
be?
In Playa del Carmen.
Yeah.
But that's a good example. It's like, you don't, like, if he would have canceled that event,
Yeah.
you could have saved face and saved grace, and like you could have done another one.
Yeah.
Now it's like, what are you doing? Like,
Well, you went to jail.
Yeah,
Did
but
you
if he would
not?
have canceled it, like
Rather than everyone
Coming
going
and having the worst
and like
experience of-
having the worst thing, and you just like save face, and then you actually put the execution, the hard work, and the infrastructure into the event, then Firefest would be going on still to this
You
day,
would
and it
have-
would have
yeah.
grown huge.
he could have canceled it ahead of time. You would have had a lot of angry people, thousands of angry people. You wouldn't have had the whole world
Right.
watching and laughing. Like
Got a
That became-
sick Netflix.
Yeah, it became a
documentary.
Netflix.
That was
It was
such
pretty
a
good.
good
Well,
one.
made his
one of
money
the
back.
biggest memes, right?
Oh,
Became the guy with the water. It's like, I was ready to do some crazy shit for that water, right? Like,
Yeah, like again, it comes down to those just like little things, but again, you just gotta like take it on the chin and just like roll with those punches, and like overall, you know that like a comeback and like the amount of support that we have got from just like the cancellations, like all my friends are like, I feel so bad, like don't worry, and it's like, yeah, like it sucks, but
they know.
but you
Again,
gotta
it
know.
sucks for those people, but think about how much more it sucks for the people who are invested, like emotionally, financially, like physically into the event.
And that's what some people don't get. Like there were some messages that came through of like saying like, oh my God, like it hardly rained. You could have done it. And I'm like, man, do you know what I'm going through? Do you know what our team is going through? Do you know the experience that like you guys just said? Like the Kygo was a perfect example. Like,
Well, I think anyone who like, let's say anyone who was going to, like, I feel like it would be a lot of the same crowd who was supposed to go to Rose Disco and then went to Kygo.
100%.
Once they experience what happened at Kygo, they should understand that.
Yeah. And that's the risk that you run with the outdoor events. And like, we're a crazy breed of people that like want, and that's the biggest thing is that like, I want to put on something great for the city that's done so much for me. And like, you want to put like a lasting mark. And that's like always something that I've always wanted to do. Like we did it back in London, and this has always been a goal of mine to do inside of Toronto. And like, I was like, all right, but you know what? Things happen, and it's going on actually. Yeah. Rose Disco is back. That launched August 16th, same date.
Okay, so let's talk about
I want to talk about
Stakes.
Greenwood because I was going to ask you this beforehand because there's a switch in the calendar this year.
Big switch in the calendar. Very excited. So my like Greenwood Stakes used to be in September. We've now moved it to June, end of June. Summer solstice, actually, longest day of the year. Sorry, of sunset. Lightest day of the year. Longest day.
Longest day of the
Longest
year.
Longest day of the year. So anyway, we decided to make that switch. One, because it kicks off summer. People are more excited. What we learned, we had September for the last 3 years, and the like biggest like taxing toll that I had seen after the pandemic is that people were so tired. Think about like, well, you travel, you have weddings, you have events, you have thing, and it comes to September and it's like the weekend after Labor Day weekend, and everyone's like, oh, I don't know. It is your birthday, which is also a great celebration that we've done many
Oh,
times.
me and you have had some shake or something.
Yeah. So we decided to make that switch. It worked better for Woodbine. After last year, we made the switch over to the grandstand side that you saw. We dealt with weird weather, which was like crazy again because it was like, it was sunny, it was rainy, it was windy, it was sunny. It was like all these in-betweens. And I'm like, this is crazy. And this is just like a weird year for it. But once we showed our partners in Woodbine that we went over to the grandstand side, that like they saw that this was now a premier event other than King's Plate. So they stepped up with us and they said that, hey, we are investing more into you. And both me and my business partner were like, all right, this is the year to kind of put it to the next level. And with this June date, sales have been insanely exploding, which is like a great sign to see. And then we also said that entertainment element where we've also like kind of played it off the Strana group in First Bet, what they've done down at the Preakness, at Pegasus, and at California Crown, where it's like, let's tie entertainment with horse racing on top of like cocktails, fashion, fun. And yeah, it was super exciting that like I locked in Zerb this year. So that was huge because I had been following for a while. And I'm like, hey, like this guy would be perfect for Greenwood Stakes. And like me and my business partner were going back and forth, talked with the agent, and it was like throughout the first offer, and they're like, he's going to Europe for the summer, playing like all the sick festivals, like the Ibiza.
Doing the tour,
doing the sick Euro tour because he's exploding right now. He's actually the hottest artist right now.
I saw a fucking
EDM.
TikTok about that.
Yeah. And I was
He's
like,
from Brazil, right?
he's from Brazil.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee, Addicted, and now Location are like those
Three
tracks
bangers.
of just like bangers.
20 million like monthly listeners on those songs.
Yeah. And I went back to my business partner and he's like, give him more. And I'm like,
Fucking right.
and,
There you go.
and I'm like, do you know what the economy's like right now in our Canadian dollar to US? And he's like, give him more. And I go, all right, let's do it. sent in the new offer. They're like, "Yep, we'll do it." I'm like, "All right, we're doing this now."
That's a big win.
Yeah, and then once we kind of like talked it out with Woodbine, and they're kind of, and I love the team there because they see where horse racing is going and the experience of the event and what to give people to, like, it's not going to grow if it's stalemates in like certain ways. Like, sure, you can get like a country music artist or whatever, but like, how do you influx like the younger generation to come experience this? And that's what we've always kind of done. And this has kind of helped like catapult that into like the new stratosphere. So it's like really cool. We have a live stage now. We've built like this whole new like section behind the brand new casino and hotel.
Oh, sick.
So
like,
like,
that's what I was gonna ask. Where's the DJ booth gonna be? Like, what's the setup?
So like, if people have been to Woodbine before, and actually we're going to be launching all of our live mapping in the next like couple weeks. If you were to be by the trackside, which they did a brand new renovation, which you were at last year at the new homestretch bars, the trackside suites.
Yep.
So when you keep walking farther down to the left-hand side behind the brand new casino and amphitheater, there's this like stretch of this new like tarmac, and it goes like 500 feet. So we're like, all right, so now we're building a stage. There's like an upper VIP with tables so that it looks down at the track, at the thing. So now it's like the stage would be facing the grandstands, but now there's this whole new 2,000-foot section where we can fit like another 2,000 people in front. And then it's like, so Zerb will close out the festival after the horse races. So it's like,
unreal.
Yeah, it's going to be super, super cool. I'm very excited.
Excited. It's very cool. I think this is one of those things too, in like in 10 years, 15 years, whatever, you got your kids and shit. You're going to look back, and even maybe you're still a part of it. Maybe you've handed it off. You're going to look back and be like, fuck, like, I remember those days, the early days. Because at the beginning, it's always a grind, right? Like anytime you're trying to set up an event or a small business or anything, at the beginning, it's always a grind. Like, you know, look at Veld now. Veld's now is like
crazy.
Okay, Veld's fucking enormous. But I remember when Digital Dreams and Veld's just started, like,
well, they were competitors. They did it, but like they built the foundation to what it is today.
Well, the fact that it's still here.
Part?
The fact that it's still here, what, 15 years later?
Yeah.
Maybe longer
but
now.
like now it's like, I don't want to say it sells itself because no event ever really sells itself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's an established event where people know what to go.
It's routine, key. Yeah. You can do like little tweaks here and there to kind of just enhance the guest experience.
Because what, Greenwood Stakes was the 4th year now?
No, so we're in our 6th. My business partner said, well, it's technically year 8. And I go, what are you talking about? I was like, well, COVID. Like, I have to look at it this way because they have the Cup, which is out west, which this is their 15-year anniversary. And like Dax, love him to death. He's like always like taught me, and he's like a mentor, a best friend, a business partner, but he's like, this is where like we exploded. And I'm like, no way. And then like our ticket sales and everything, and I'm like, oh, okay. And like with the transition flip with this, it like all kind of makes sense, right? Is that you got to put in the time, the effort, and like here's the hot take on this episode is that our goal is in the next 5 years, we will be the biggest horse racing festival event in Canada. And then the goal is to be the largest in North America. But I'm saying this because you always have to have goals and you always have to achieve it. But I know it will happen. And like we've like put the footprint now to make it happen. So I'm very excited. I
fucking love it.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Greenwood yet. I just have a question. Do people bet on the horses?
Yeah.
Of course.
So
I wasn't sure, like, if it's like, I don't know.
So do you want like a rundown?
Yes, I want a rundown as someone who's never been.
So you wake up.
Okay, thanks.
You get excited.
Brush my teeth.
You brush your teeth. You get ready. Obviously, it's like we're fashion forward. It's like it's a fun day because you, as like the ladies, the guys, like you get to put on amazing outfits. You plan for this, like. You know, you want to like show your style off, which has always been our like tagline, come get fancy. And so you get ready, have some mimosas in the morning, a little bit of like food. You get in like some of our friends like rent buses, limos, Uber, come on down to the event. You get your registration, you walk in, you'll be walking into the event. You see the track, then you're like, oh my God, like what's the next thing? And then you're kind of like, it's like that unknown, but it's a fun unknown because like a lot of people, which I love about horse racing events, is that a lot of people don't know how to bet. So the best engagement within the event is learning how to bet on a horse or like I'm just saying this, a lot of females bet on horses with funny names,
Well,
or their favorite number,
we
or
just
the
watched the
jockey.
Kentucky-
The jockey's wearing
Yeah.
pink, or their favorite color. So then people start doing this, and it's like, sure, you could put $1, you could put $5. I've seen people put thousands of dollars, and like there's people that are like, hardcore horse racing, gambling people that love it. But I think it's just like the dynamic of like not knowing it and like not really understanding it, but it's like you're just trying something for the first time, which like that brings so much excitement into it all, which is like super cool. And then on the side of it, it's like, oh my God, there's DJs playing, there's the horse racing betting, there's the cocktails. So this year we're actually doing with our partners with Diageo, which is super cool. We're having like the Greenwood Stakes cocktail like premiered this year that we'll have for years to come. So the Kentucky Derby is the mint julep. So like they're known for it. So like this year, Diageo's working with us with their masterclass mixologist, and they're making us like the Greenwood Stakes cocktail, which will be like the famous cocktail for like
Kind of like
years
when
to
you
come.
like people talk about like whatever the tennis match.
The
Like
tennis,
that-
yeah,
like the
exactly.
melon drink,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like the Masters, and they talk about the pimento cheese
The-
sandwich
the-
and all these
exactly.
different things.
There's
Like, you
so
wanna
we're
have that
gonna
staple.
have a Greenwood Stakes cocktail. We're getting presented with a few options, and then we're doing a whole content thing around it, and then like tasting it and doing this. So super excited about it. It's gonna be cool.
Ollie, you fire me up when you talk about things. Like, just like, I'm so fired up.
Are you here this year? It's not near your birthday now.
No, I know, but we talked about this. Remember, because
I
you
know.
messaged me like 2 months ago. It's
I
my
did.
best friend's like charity annual golf tournament. He's been doing it for like
Vicky's 30th birthday, so I gotta try to convince her we
yeah.
should do it there.
Well, I went
'cause
for
that'd
my
be
birthday last year. We
great-
had a blast. Just came. You
Just
guys would have met
came.
last year. at my
Yeah,
birthday.
actually, I do remember that now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that's
my
where we did,
birthday
man.
At Greenway. That's where you would have met.
And
Greenwood.
and I feel really bad, Ricky, because there was like 3 things with it. Is that last year I was running around with my head cut off because that was the first time we were
Grand
on that
Slam, yeah.
footprint, right? So I had no idea what to expect. This year, I'm a trained assassin, and I know how to handle what we're about to produce. So I feel bad because I would have loved to have had more time with you and the crew.
buddy, don't
but
worry.
we've been using a lot of Ricky and the crew in our ads. And they've been
Fucking right, let's
pumping
go.
out. What's your
Let's
one?
go.
Who's,
Definitely Maz, 100%.
no, Maz is in her green outfit.
green, I'm like-
and it's like seize the day. And she's like,
have you seen the ad? I haven't seen
I haven't
I'll
seen
send
it.
it to
I
you
wanna
guys
see it
after.
because, like,
yeah.
I was in Italy like
Actually,
when you guys
I'll
went.
send you the ad, and maybe we could do a hot clip, and then we could just post it on like
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
those things.
Oh,
and It's
yeah.
like her,
She had a
but she looks
blast.
great. Yeah. And your parents came, which was amazing. Love your parents
Elaine
so
and
much.
Frank came, yeah.
And like, yeah. So, but I would say, well, you already kind of pitched it to me, and it's like she wants a day party.
Yeah.
We have that. Wants to get dressed up, like you,
She
like
she would love the dressing up part.
so that's check 2. And then 3 is just the excitement of it all. And so
And she loves an activity. This is like an activity,
And
like
we
something
picked the
to
winning
do.
horse too last year. Our
you see,
squad.
so that was the whole thing of like explaining the event. And what do you think? Like me and Danny just talked about it. It's like the whole dynamic of learning how to horse bet when you don't really know how to horse bet, but it engages you with everybody because everyone's talking about
and
it.
everybody's so nice about it because everybody
Yeah.
just wants to have fun. It's not like, oh, I can't tell you who I bet on. It's like, no, none of us fucking really
Well,
know.
no, c-
And then you get the people. It's like, I got a hot tip, number 13. It's like,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
dad
yeah.
knows the guy who like serves food in like at Woodbine. He's like the head like food guy there, and he's like, oh, he said this. Like, what the fuck does he know? Like, get out of here.
Like-
you know how many hot tips I got for fucking Kentucky Derby? So
Yeah.
After we watched Kentucky Derby, that's why I feel like I really want to go to horse races now. Like that is going to be my
DB
new
with the
thing.
briefcase.
yeah. So when
Unbelievable.
we did Belmont Stakes in New York, our crew.
How was that? I've been
It's
to
epic.
every one.
It's
I haven't
epic.
been to.
Belmont
That's the
Stakes
only
is
one I haven't
epic.
been to.
It's so much fun. But again, we were with the boys. We partied. Like DJ Paulie D was DJing like underneath
Of
the fucking
course.
grandstand.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah,
like, it was
yeah,
wild.
yeah,
Like just
yeah.
a pure New Jersey, New York party.
Yeah.
But we ended up having a blast. But yeah, even like last year, like we had so much fucking fun with it.
Yeah.
The only suggestion I have
Go.
is bottle service.
Okay, so not like a spoiler alert, but and not really a spoiler alert, is that there's so many stipulations when it comes down to
Gambling.
not gambling, the liquor licenses within Woodbine. So
Okay.
bottles of wine, bottles of champagne is good. Unfortunately, they're not licensed to have certain bottle service thing on the
Okay.
track. Now, this is what in future is that the new promenade in 2026, because it will be under some sort of new licensing with like us as like has to do through usually an SOP, is that our goal is to have like more by the live stage, which they do in other events, to have bottle service on that side.
Okay, gotcha.
So like it's we have to play by the rules, and
of course,
to be honest is that like I feel other than the bottle service thing, like there's so much more excitement to come with it. But yes, an added element that would be ideal for
but like
certain
also
things.
you don't need like alcoholics like Ricky chugging down a bottle.
Yeah, well, no, it's
Yeah, no, I get it. No, but I get it because there are people like you that were used to the entertainment fun, and it's like, where's my booth? Where's my bottle?
Yeah.
And we've been programmed terribly, but like I love
how
it
we
too.
grew up.
No, and that's the thing is that there are a lot of people like that, but it's like you can also build your own fun within it. And yes, no one like champagne wine drunk is a fun drunk throughout the day. We have RTDs, we have beer. Stella's like our presenting sponsor. We have cocktails.
Yeah.
We have it all, but yes, we can't be pouring 26.
Yeah, it's funny because, so again, our whole, like, again, we grew up with this kind of shit.
Yeah.
But even last year, like, we got, and we know the liquor rules everywhere you go, right? 2 drinks per person. You can't be going, like,
You got to behave.
You got to behave. You can't be drinking too much. And like, it was my birthday last year. We were fucking drinking. Like, great. The horse races are on. We're gambling on the ponies. Fucking great. Yeah, we wore our outfits. Fucking awesome too. But we're drinking. We were there with purpose. So I think actually me and Maz, we get in line, we get our drinks, smash them, go right back in line, go right back up. They're like, oh, you got to wait. We're like, why? It's like, well, you know the rules. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go to the next one. So we just kept going back and forth because again, we're fucking drinking.
Yeah.
But you know what I do, and about your event, which I think you did a great job, is you had so many different stations that you could like mosey around, bop around, and like by the time you go from one end to the other and you hit every station, that's like an hour almost.
At least. And that's the whole thing is that now our new footprint is that like we brought on a bunch of new like food sponsors, vendors, and we're going to like, it's like an adventure in itself because there's so many new sections that people can go, and it's like, oh, I want to go to this bar. Oh, we actually have a live like band that's like playing a different little stage. So it's like it's all done. So you want to go explore. And then another seller here, Danny.
I'm sold. Like,
yeah,
I'm sold.
No. Like the Derby boys are building out a little VIP section for the people that treat us well. And, so you could come to the Derby Boys section, have a time over there.
Only if I got a sweater.
Yeah. A little side project, which Ricky he didn't hear because he was doing a Starbucks ad. Shout out Starbucks.
Yeah, big shout out Starbucks.
Yeah.
What I want to ask you, ever have any interest in buying a pony?
So...
So if it's yes, I'm in.
Okay,
Why do you call
yes.
it a pony?
So
is it a pony or is it a horse?
It's a horse.
It's a horse,
So I
I
have friends that are in the breeding game. Well, the Stronachs and other friends of mine that are inside the horse racing community that could give us an opportunity. And so in the next 3 years for the 10-year anniversary, I think we should invest in a horse. And we run it in the Greenwood Stakes.
10 years is too far for Ricky. He wants
No. The 10-year anniversary. So it's like 4 years from now. So it's like we have enough time to do research, do enough stuff. There'll be a crew of us because I think
it's expensive.
It is. But like I know by that time because this year will be the year that solidifies us on like a larger scale. And then we're really going to be investing into the actual horse racing experience where it's like prize pools will get bigger, larger sponsors to like invest inside of it, which then will bring like larger pony, like more better racing horses up here. And like the goal is that me and my business partner says like it would be great to get like Dave Portnoy's horse, other celebrity horses.
He's really into it.
He's huge into it. Like Dave loves it. And I've met him at a few of the Frank's events, and he's like, now he owns like one of those like big thoroughbreds.
So I've never cared for horse racing, but again, every time I go to the event, I'm like, I love this shit. Like, I have no idea what I'm betting, but we picked the Kentucky Derby winner, I picked the Belmont Stakes winner, and I picked Greenwood Stakes winner last year. Like, I'm just like, again, amongst like 5 other bets that were
Yeah.
making. But we had like 6 of us. We put in $50 each, and we started gambling on Kentucky Derby. Didn't we fucking pick the winner? Like
I lost.
9-1 odds. It sucks to suck.
Oh, just this last,
Like 2 weeks ago.
How about that in the slop too, which
Yeah.
is like one of the hardest races to win in.
When it's pouring.
And when it's pouring, so you know when that horse is like excelling, that one. So now the Preakness is the most important one because that's like if that horse can win again, then they could win the Triple Crown, which is so
did you know
important.
that every horse in the final race of the Kentucky Derby,
Secretariat
was
breeded, yeah.
Wait, what does that mean?
So Secretariat's like the greatest horse of like the last like 100 years.
Yeah.
It won the Triple Crown. It won a whole bunch of other things. Like it's a legend. And once you win the Triple Crown, you're
Triple Crown's like what, 3?
It's
So
the
like
three-
yeah,
the three
so when you
three
win the
biggest.
Kentucky Derby, the Preakness Stakes, and then
Belmont.
the Belmont. So Secretariat won all 3 of those. So basically, that horse is like it's like gold.
so
So
You wanna explain it?
You go.
You go.
No, you go.
so basically what happens is then they breed the horse. So each time
Just
it breeds
Yeah.
is like they cost like the person's got to pay Secretariat's owner like 100 G's. I think Secretariat's got up to
100
half.
G's,
100
like
Gs,
millions.
millions.
Was it
So
millions?
so Joe Pompolo did a thing and like researched this. Every single time that the horse does its business, and they just like put it in a tube, right, like near like a woman, and then they'll just like throw it on the thing, grab its specimen, and like they'll do it like 10, 11 times, and then it breeds, and then all those horses came from Secretariat. So all the ones racing, which is wild. And yes, it's $1 million, dude. It's $1 million plus.
Plus, because I just saw right
I was
now on
saying 100 is like
TikTok,
random,
like it was like
Yeah.
the most expensive horses sold within the past couple of years, and the ones that are unsold still on the market. And I think the top one was $285 million for a horse.
You got to remember because it
That's
just once
crazy.
it's
Could you
once
imagine?
it's done
Yeah.
racing, which again horses only have like a couple of years like lifespan in racing.
Right.
So once they're done, I think like they race from like 2 to 6 or something, and that's it.
They just kick
After
in
that,
the
they
sheets.
they just leave them
just
on the
kick in
side. They
sheets.
take great care of them, and they
Yeah.
basically just jerk them off like, every day.
It's crazy.
Think about it, if you can't
Think of what a life they live. I think PFT and Big Cat did a funny thing. It's like, what's the best like athlete to be in? It's like a horse. You like race, you like get brought up, you race, you do like you win, and then all you're doing is just
jerking off. So
Just
you're not even
bucking
fucking.
in the
You're
shit.
just jerking off.
no, they're having fun, and then you're like running in fields with like
You're
you know
treated like gold.
You're just happy.
But
you're just
so-
happy.
Ollie,
What a
the
life.
You're in like the nicest barn ever, probably, just like living like the high life.
Yeah, the high life.
The reason I ask is so I had this like random like stable from New York reach out to me like, hey, we sell merch, like we want to send you some shit. I'm like,
Cool.
Gandolfo Stables out of New York or New Jersey. They hit me up like, yeah, we want to send you some shit. We love your stuff. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, send me some shit. And I've been rocking the shit left, right, and center now. And I'm like, and I'm obviously because I keep tagging them or they keep responding. I keep seeing more horses shit. And then Kentucky Derby, we picked a winner. And I'm just like, and George casually mentioned, like, can we invest in a horse? And I'm like, I've spent a lot stupider money, like a lot.
Pickleball
I've
to horse
pickleball's my
racing.
thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, man, if I actually had to like this TikTok money thing is not going to last forever. But while I got it, like I spent money stupidly. Buying a fucking horse, I think would be a lot of fucking
A TikToker did buy the horse. That's the one I bet on.
fun. A TikToker bought a horse?
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
told you. That's the one
Yeah.
I bet on.
Yeah, yours was a bad bet.
Sandman.
Sandman, yeah.
And it was number 17 with Ortiz.
Yeah, there was
And it
also
was-
there was also the Jason Worth or something.
I bet on it just because they said number 17 never wins in top 5.
Oh no way!
But this horse had the ability to go top 5.
Apparently
And did
not.
you win?
Apparently.
Did you like? You can like also like bet. Like that's the other thing too.
Yeah.
Is that
I didn't
win,
have
play,
control.
show, or
So we-
they can
we-
come
I
in
gave
top
$50.
three.
They did
So
whatever.
we
Oh,
picked a
nice.
whole bunch of random like things, and we picked them like based off jokes. So I was like, okay, like that day I met Heather Reisman, who's like
No
this-
way.
Yeah, so I had a book signing at Yorkdale. Yorkdale chapters.
yeah.
So while I'm there, Heather Reisman walks in, starts talking to me. I didn't recognize her. Starts shooting shit. Loves my book. Find out it's fucking Heather Reisman. Heather's picks. So she starts. Gives me her contact. Gives me her name.
That's
her number,
so
gives me everything.
sick.
So at this point, I'm just like, I'm lucky. Like everybody knows, I'm like the luckiest guy alive. So we go like Ricky, like, okay, you're lucky. What do you feel? I'm like, well, there's like 3 things related to books: publisher, There was like another one. There's 3 things related to like books,
Yeah.
right?
Journalism.
Booking,
Journalism, publisher, and another one. We're like, we got to do that, a trifecta there. We did that, and then who won the Kentucky Derby?
Sovereign.
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 And it was just like, that one looks good. So we picked that just to win straight up. That was one. We had 8 or 9 bets total. We had $400 on the line, and we ended up winning. Yeah, we had $100 on sovereignty. Whatever.
I can't say it.
Anyways,
So the boys won.
Yeah, we
It's
picked
crew
up
run.
$500. Paid
Nice.
for half of our lunch. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it was fucking great. So yeah. Anyways, Ollie, you get an opportunity. I heard they're expensive. Like to buy the horse is one, and then like your yearly maintenance is expensive on a horse.
It is extremely expensive. I don't know the like brass tacks, but it is a whole thing. But I think if we all go into it, like there'll be a bunch of us, and like we'll just like
Have a couple
we'll go
percent
through,
each.
yeah, and we just like, and then we'll just go big.
Yeah, he's gotta be like sick looking too, though, and we need the smallest rider on him.
Yeah, like the
Well, like, just think
jockeys.
about the
Okay,
jockeys.
so
That's
this is like a really cool thing where like I don't know, stars align, 11-11, 4-4-4, those kind of things like align with me right now, and it's just like you're on the right like career path and like life path. And the coolest thing is that like out of nowhere, Netflix obviously is killing F1, the golf, like the documentary style, and then the horse racing thing comes up. And now it's like they have the horse racing industry on Netflix. I'm like, pickleball.
Beyond the kitchen.
Beyond the kitchen.
Maybe season 2 gets picked up. You never know.
Let him talk.
No, but like it's exciting because like that's something what might get do because like Amazon, whatever. But it's like it's showing now that these extra like other than like the top 4, like your NFLs, whatever, is that there's a whole other realm of like sports that are coming into the fold that like people need to be exposed to.
Drive to Survive is the best example. Drive to Survive was bigger than F1.
It is.
Like pop culturally, like in the world, there are so many fans of F1 because of Drive to Survive.
I
think
never knew about F1, nor did I care. Like some of my buddies were like,
Yeah, but look at now too the F1 movie coming out with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why, Ollie, to be honest, that's why we started our vlog series Beyond the Kitchen, because I'm like, there are so many people in the media entertainment industry that play pickleball. All you need is one of them to watch and be like, oh, this isn't bad. What'd you guys do that? Like, our budget to do it is literally, it makes you sick when I tell you our budget is like nothing.
I know, but it's very professionally well done. I'm a big YouTube guy.
Are you, Ollie?
I'm a YouTube premium subscriber.
Really?
Clarissa gets a little bit disturbed of how much YouTube I watch because I'll just like watch it and now I'm like on shorts. I'm like more on shorts than I am on TikTok.
Very, I don't want to like say like.
Okay, so the biggest
older
thing
generation.
within like
It's either older generation or very younger
but like
generation.
you have to think about the stuff of that right now inside of our new media. That is the new media where it's like people. I feel like a lot of people are like ADHD, where it's like you don't have like a lot of time to do something, and it's just those quick information that you want to see, and you want to like watch them. And then other than a podcast, I love a good podcast, obviously. But then you want to watch it, and it's just those quick things. Like YouTube golf is almost bigger than the PGA. And now that they've done the collaborations, it's only helped the PGA. Whatever, Live Golf is probably going to die soon. But that's like what's like brought it in the stratosphere, and like you're very smart, and you've always been very smart and like ahead of the game with that. And when I saw you guys do that first episode, and I'm like, yo, because like not only are you helping the CMPL, right, you're also helping your team's brand. You're now looking into sponsorship opportunities that will go on a higher like growth rate for you, which is also going to help like bring more exposure not only to the sport, the Canadian League, and like so much more, which is like you're ahead of the game already doing it. If you're not on YouTube right now, like you're losing out.
Well, go ahead, Danielle.
No, I just think the thing about YouTube too is a lot of these shorts that you're watching are linking to a long form video. So if you're really interested in something, whereas like you don't get that on TikTok.
And you get
or
the sub.
Instagram.
Like that's what it's all about is the subs.
I read something maybe 2 years ago on social media about how like influencer marketing is less about being perfect and the aesthetic. It's more about the human and connecting with people. And like that was my whole TikTok social media like career is based on connecting with people.
Right.
last year I read something that it's not just about connecting anymore. It's about building a story.
Telling a story.
It's about telling a story about not only just you, but what you do, how you do it, why you do it, like W5H. And that's even when I started the vlog. It's like, okay, like none of my vlogs organically do numbers. Like my best vlog episode's like 2,000 views on its own, like literally without any ads, like $2,000.
It's like an old
views.
CD and events video. I looked at those the other day. Those got like 3,000 views. I was like,
so it's not that it does a lot, but again, if you keep building and keep growing and keep introducing people to your life, because long form, like right now, it's all about short form content, short form content. But again, it will get back to where it is, where it's like eventually, think about how many people watched YouTube on TVs 10 years ago. 0.
and how much they're investing in now inside of TV.
Think
and
about how
like
many people
other
don't
stuff.
have cable anymore. They just have their Apple TV or their smart TV. Think about how many people have YouTube Premium now and how many people watch YouTube instead of TV.
That's me. I've been a YouTube Premium subscriber for over 2.5 years. Love it because it's like not only got me ideas and like other stuff of like forward thinking, but like you have to think of like that next generation and what people are on, and you're ahead of that game. And then once you start building like your episodes, and actually I was just with Eric Enriquez and we were talking about it because we're doing like this new project with with someone that I'm managing like that. We'll see where it goes, but very excited stuff. But he said it very well, is that TikTok is just like your everyday, like you have to tell the story of like, this is who I am. Mm-hmm. Instagram's your resume. It's like clean cut, what you would do, what you'd send to like a job interview. And then YouTube is like where it all blends into like telling your full life story, which is like super cool how they all kind of connect in a weird way. But you're inside the influencer game where it's like I guess, what do you feel like your Instagram is more like you're more polished?
I used to hold on to my Instagram so much, and when I did that, I had like 30,000 followers, and like that was like I loved it. When people came to my Instagram, that was me, that was true. And then I'm like, nobody really cares. They want to see all of it. They want to see the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful.
That's how you create fans. People
like,
connect with you.
But you say like a community of people that
exactly.
relate, right?
The community.
My whole brand is just about being relatable.
Right.
And there's some days where I post something that doesn't mean something to me, but I know someone else relates to it, and that's why I post it. But yeah, like to go exactly what you were saying. Like YouTube is that full fucking story. It's that bridge between who you are, what you're doing, the short form, the long form, and everything in between.
I love a nice vlog.
I also just find like the component of being able to watch something live on YouTube too. Like
so
we're at
cool.
work last week, and one of my coworkers is like,
busy day.
Shut up. The Pope got like chosen.
He's
like, oh, like the Pope. He's like, where do we watch it?
We could get into that. American Pope. First time ever.
First time ever, yeah.
From Chicago.
Yeah, crazy. And
wild.
Augustinian too. You guys don't.
Yeah, I don't
know.
know.
I'm sorry.
We can go. But at work, we're literally sitting there. I'm like, oh, it's probably on YouTube. And what I literally did is Pope YouTube, and we watched the live stream right there and then. So it's like,
tough day at the office, Danielle?
Shut up. After tax season, give me a fucking break. Anyways, no, but you could even tie that in later on, like maybe in the future, a live stream of Greenwood on YouTube.
So we're investing heavily into our production this year, which I feel it's what sells the next years and beyond. But like with Zerb, we'll be doing like live stream with multiple camera angles, that kind of stuff. And like you have to tell the full story. We actually have like a few like models / like influential people that our team's going to be following throughout the day. So it's like,
I'm almost
how do you
insulted
tell that
you
whole
didn't
story?
even call me.
Because you're never here.
Like you were one person on, like, won't name names, but some people, and they're like, oh, well, I could get Ricky to come. And I laughed. I'm like, oh yeah, you're going to get Ricky to come? Okay.
You should. You should not go
let
to
me
the golf
call his
tournament.
agent. But I know he's not here, and that's why I'm like, because man, he's the first person. Like, this is the one thing I love about
Ricky. Make
Ricky.
it halfway through in my golf attire.
It'd be rude if
Why
you
don't
didn't.
you just change in the
Why
car?
don't you just change?
Or in the clubhouse.
Because I don't.
Like a normal human.
I gotta figure out who will drive me. I'll
Listen,
I will
if
call
like
you
what
an
time
Uber.
does it end? Like, okay, charity golf tournament. Sorry, we're going a little bit off the rails, but like we need to get this guy here because this will turn into a whole hot take within a video. Because I'm also doing like a back end, like behind the scenes video on YouTube that I'm going to be kind of like doing what Ricky does now, but like you got to tell a story.
Yeah.
So when does it start and when does it end? Is it one of those buffet things at the end what no one really wants to go to?
You also don't like whatever.
Sorry, I don't want to like
Shay's golf tournament.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that one I have to go to.
But you can leave like early.
No, you can't leave a golf tournament early.
It's a shotgun scramble.
11, probably 11 scramble.
So it's a 5-hour round.
It's at TPC.
TPC, ooh, that's real.
It's about an hour from Woodbine. But I can make it by probably 5:30ish.
Why don't you get a Lyft code or an Uber code?
So, hot take again here is
Oh.
that if you commit to this right now, I will pay for your Uber or I'll get one of my drivers to pick you up and drive you in. And then you'll be at the event for when Zerb probably goes on because races usually go until about 6 o'clock and then events done by like 8.
What do I do with my golf stuff?
So in the car, you bring your suit, obviously, and you'll like put that in the clubhouse.
Or don't you have friends going? Can't they take it in their car?
Just have a bag.
You know what, Ollie? I'm in.
Yes.
That's it. You got me. I'm in.
Easy sell.
Heard it here first.
Pals podcast.
I'm
Here we
literally
go.
gonna clip this so you can't back out now.
Oh,
That's going right on socials.
I told you I got golf. It's in my calendar, but you are correct. I can make the set at the end. And you know I'm going to be juiced up after a golf tournament too.
You're going to be firing.
I'm going to be cock out and everything.
I'll make sure to make sure you have the best access point to like come right in like yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll
I might
have
need
a
a couple plus
bottle
ones.
of champagne waiting right.
Oh
for
yeah,
you.
no, I'll put it with his name on it.
I think actually Ollie offered me a booth last year. It's like, do you want one? I was like, man, I can't drink that much champagne in one.
Yeah. He
I
was
need
just
hard
like
liquor. Like I need hard liquor.
Well, that's the other thing. It goes back to the bottle service. It's like, I can hammer like 24 shots, but like I can't drink a bottle of champagne.
Very
It's tough
unique.
though. Like champagne drunk's a lot different than normal, and like
And like people who are lightweights, like it's easy to get like a bottle of champagne. You have 2 glasses plus a bottle of wine. You're feeling good. Like no, I need a full bottle of champagne.
2
and a full
glasses of
bottle of wine.
champagne and a bottle of wine. And
No, I
you're
said a
feeling
glass
good.
of wine. Yeah, I need
Oh.
I need the most. But Ollie, I'll be there. Fuck it.
okay,
I gotta get an
you might as
outfit
well
now.
make a day. Well, Danny and the crew's coming now.
I'm
You
gonna
see,
get an
like
outfit.
this is like the
Yeah, I'm
Ah,
gonna
yeah.
get a cool outfit because it'd be good content for me too. Actually,
I gotta go shopping again.
my
I'm
fit
excited.
last year was great. Ollie's fit.
I actually have a
last year was
sick
great.
So God Style, our fashion partner, and love Melissa and the crew. They've been with us from day one. They are the best for outfits, like custom suits. I always get a custom from them. We always go through the whole process. It's always like a very exciting experience. And we actually just got our suits, and me and Dax are matching this year. But probably too late to get a matching, but like they're always good. But then the female program and their God Style one, they have some stuff. So
Is
shameless
there like
plug
certain
here.
colors you shouldn't wear?
No, you go to I wore pink, green, orange,
So colorful.
colorful,
I wore baby
fun.
blue last
Like
year.
it's all about the hats.
I need a hat. I have a dress. I literally have a dress that I haven't worn. I saved it for last year for an event and I didn't wear it too. And it's stunning. So I just need like a nice like headpiece.
And
I'm
like
gonna- I'm
guys,
gonna
like
do
you can
something
get
wild.
away with like normal suits or like whatever.
Yeah.
But like the best thing about these events is to get so creative, and it's so amazing at the event seeing everybody's outfits. Like it's crazy. Like the hats that have came out of like these things, the suits. I'm like, what the heck? And we're actually doing with God Style. So in 2023, when we were at our old location at the clubhouse on the right-hand side, where it was like smaller, and then we obviously are growing a lot bigger. We had a stage and we did a live like style stakes competition. We're bringing that back this year between the like some of the races. So we're doing a live like best dressed competition, which is like super cool. So
Ricky's definitely not winning that one.
well, he might not be there, unfortunately.
I'm
And it's
gonna come in
he's just
hot.
gonna come in hot, and he's gonna be there like for Zerb.
I'm gonna be like in a bedazzled suit or something ridiculous.
Well, you've always like had those other ones. Like you were put together very nice last year. I did like your outfit. But like before you had like those like full like the suits, and
I
you're
had
like,
the
oh,
shorts.
that would be good for like.
I did 1 year. I don't know if it was Greenwood.
Wait,
or
it was
Queen's
when
Plate.
you went to Belmont. You had that like one suit.
No,
though.
so I had I don't know if it was Queen's Plate or if it was Greenwood 1 year where I had a onesie.
Yes.
So shorts and a t-shirt suit, basically. Yeah. It's a onesie.
What's wrong with you?
And then 1 year I wore a suit which was short sleeves and shorts. Floral,
I did shorts.
A floral suit.
I feel like I saw.
And it actually fucking slapped.
You know what? It's your style, your personality, and that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
I'm gonna rock something good. Ollie, we are nearing that time though. Fuck, I feel like we got into it because one of the things I would have usually ended with is like, what are the goals?
Well, like we've always
about
ended it that way.
This went by so quickly.
I'm a 5-time guest now. So
He's a pro.
Yeah.
Ollie, you are, and it's always a pleasure having you on. Like I said at the beginning, you are one of the better storytellers we've had on this podcast.
No, and I appreciate you guys giving me the time and the platform to obviously not only promote my event, but also catching up with you two. And like, I'm really happy for everything that you guys have been doing, and congratulations on all the success and the new studio. It's beautiful.
Yeah, new little spot.
Yeah.
Greenwood Stakes, June 16th.
21st.
Saturday, June 21st.
Why did I say 16th? Anyway, June 21st. What time does it start? What time does it end?
Woodbine Racetrack opens at 12. First race is at 1 o'clock, ending at around 8 o'clock because we're closing out the festival with superstar DJ Zerb.
Where can people get tickets?
www.greenwoodstakes.com.
And if people want to find out more about you, the event, where can they go? How can they find you?
At Ollie Shanks on Instagram, at Ollie Shanks on TikTok, but I don't really.
What about
TikTok.
YouTube?
YouTube's coming.
Well, it's not out yet.
It's not out yet. You guys will start seeing some stuff come out soon. Super excited about it. And follow at Greenwood Stakes on Instagram.
Beauty. And Ollie, we appreciate you. If you made it to the end of this, guys, we appreciate you. Give Danielle a follow. Give Ollie a follow. Give myself a follow. And we will see you all at Greenwood Stakes, June 21st.
Bye.
Woo!